Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making some Ewok ears. So you're going to need a headband, measuring tape, some cardboard to make this template, needle, thread, some beads, hot glue gun with lots of hot glue sticks. Also going to need some fabric, some fake fur, pen, some fabric scissors, and some non-fabric scissors. Alright, so first thing we are going to do here is make this template. Basically, you're going to create the shape of the ear, and then to get the bottom, you're just going to hold it up to your headband and trace the headband so you get the right shape and it will fit nicely. Cut that out with your non-fabric scissors. Make two. Once you have those, you're going to go and take your fabric and trace them out. So basically, you're going to pop it on there, trace the actual shape, and then go ahead and trace a couple centimeters around the shape and leave a nice big flap along the bottom. You need two of those. We're going to do a very similar thing with the fur. Make sure you pay attention to which way the fur is running. And this time we're just going to trace directly around the shape. No need for the extra space or the flap at the bottom. I had to use a Sharpie so that it would actually show up. And then go ahead and cut those out with your fabric scissors, and you have two little fluffy ear pieces. I'm going to take another piece of this faux fur and just make two long rectangles and cut those out. Now for the headband, you're going to take the measuring tape about 1/2 inch before the headband and then measure to 1/2 inch after the headband ends so that we can figure out how long we need a piece to cover it, because nobody wants to just have an ugly plastic headband. I'm going to take my handy dandy ruler, and basically I decided to make this 2.5 times the width of my headband so I had enough to wrap around. And then just, this one needed to be 15 inches long. My ruler is only 12 inches, so I had to add an extra 3 inches at the end. But honestly, these clear plastic rulers for quilting are amazing because you can just line everything up on the grid lines and then get perfectly parallel lines. They are fantastic. I highly recommend one if you do a lot of measuring on fabric. And then you're going to cut that out so you have a nice long strip. So we're going to cover the headband first. So you're going to take your hot glue gun and load it up with some glue sticks. I'm just going to start at one end and pop some hot glue on there. And don't forget to leave a little extra space at the end of your headband so that you can flip it over to cover the ends when you're done. We're just going to go along and keep hot gluing all the way around the edge. This is probably the time I should recommend that you be very careful with your hot glue because you can burn yourself really easily. This part is where I burnt myself a couple of times. So once you have it on the outside, you're going to put glue on the inside and go ahead and just smush the extra space over towards the inside so you can cover the inside of it as well. And that's where I burnt myself. Happened a couple times. So if you're not quite comfortable just using your fingers to fold this over because you don't want to burn your fingers with hot glue, you can use something else like pens or pencils, just something else to smooth it over. And then you're going to repeat it with the other side and do that and you're good. Next we're going to take the template and our fabric, glue around the edge there and just fold the fabric over. Now, this doesn't have to be super pretty because it is going to be completely covered. Nobody's going to see this back side of this piece. Just go around all of your edges and fold them over. Try and pull it nice and tight so you don't have any baggy issues. And leave the bottom flap open because that flap is how we are going to attach the ears to the headband later. Yay! Now repeat it for the second piece. Alright, so next what we're going to do is attach the back of the ear. So we're just going to put a line of hot glue around the outside and then scribble some on the inside. And we're gonna very carefully pick it up and plop it down onto the furry part. Pat it down. Don't be worried about taking your time here. You want to make sure it sticks. Alright, so I did that twice, and then I realized that this rectangle was a rectangle and was not going to lie flat because, duh. So I ended up cutting it up into little squares like this. It took a little bit more time, but it worked out pretty well in the end. So basically, had the little squares, put the glue on it, starting at the bottom, and just lined them up. And then you grab the next square. And then you're going to line it up with the first piece and the edge. Ooh. And squish them down so they stay. Doo, 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 doo. Because I didn't have this cut out, it took a little bit longer to do. But there we go. And then the last piece, you just line it up with the bottom there. And you have a fluffy ear. Now, the two sides of the fur did not want to stick together, so along the seam line, just plopped some hot glue in there and squished it together. Again, be really careful pushing the fur together around the seam line because it is fur and hot glue likes to squish out everywhere. So just, again, be careful not to burn yourself. Ooh, ran out of hot glue. Do, 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 do. There are definitely other ways I could have made these ears, but I really wanted them to stand up, especially once I have the hood piece over top of them. Just wanted to make sure they stood up and stood out. Hot glue on my skin. Yay. Alright, repeat that for the second one, and now we have two ears. Make sure you don't put them right on the top. You want to put them further towards the sides of the headband so that they don't look really silly once you put it on. I had to cut out a piece of fur because I got hot glue on it. I was really lucky. That actually only happened once. Alright, so now we're basically going to wrap this flap around them. So we're going to glue it to the outside. Just glue that in place there. And then we are going to go ahead and put some glue on the inside of the headband while we wrap it around here. Just for some extra stability because nobody wants their ears flopping all over the place. Unless you're a bunny. If you're a bunny, floppy ears are great. And then going to load up the crease seam, with lots of hot glue and wrap it around fully towards the top again. And push it down so that we can make sure it stays in place. There is quite a bit of hot glue in there, so it's going to take a little bit of extra time to cool down. Just want to make sure it stays nice and tight. And we have one ear, and then we're going to do the same thing for the second one. Let that cool down a minute, and we have Wookiee ears. They're so cute and little and fluffy. Ah! Here I was looking at the beads because I was going to sew some beads on to kind of like decorate one of the ears, but I didn't like the way they looked, so I kind of nixed it and decided not to use any. And here we have the completed super cute fluffy ears. Alright, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for more costume videos and other stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye!